Hello, 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 y'all. Welcome to Homestead Believer. My name is Cherie. We are going to be finishing the pretzel bread right now. The dough has risen, and I'm going to move you, so put your seatbelts on. We're going to finish this up. The dough has risen. So, let me see if I can get you guys closer. The dough has risen. I better turn the lid on because this is kind of dark. Maybe now you can see. A little dark. The dough has risen. Doubled its size. It looks great. So I'm going to put a little flour down on my table. I hope y'all can see. Trying to make sure you guys are close enough that you can see. You don't need to see me. You need to see what I'm doing. Dough looks really good, y'all. Looks really good. So I'm going to put a little flour down, and this time I'm just using regular all-purpose flour. This is technically what they say is bench flour. And I am going to drop my dough down. Ooh, this looks delicious. It looks so good. And just press it down a little bit so I can kind of form a circle here. Just a little bit. Let me use this one. I'm going to cut this in half. This recipe makes 2 bread loaves, 2 large bread loaves. And I'm just going to form this into a circle. This is how easy this is, y'all. This is so easy. I just want to make sure this, I'm going to kind of fold it into itself so that the circle stays nice and smooth. Pick up any flour I can to kind of blend it in, just so it's not super sticky. Form a nice dough ball. Pinch the dough ball. And form a nice circle. Just make sure it's all like nice and even. That looks good to me. So now we're going to do the same thing with this one. My oven is ready. The oven is preheated to 400 degrees. You can do the same. Put this into it. Press this into itself is what I'm doing. I'm pressing it into itself. Kind of like making it's kind of a mushroom, so that I can get a nice dough ball here. I hope y'all can see what I'm doing. I'm going to pinch this back closed. Just pinch it onto itself. Making a nice little dough ball. So this will make 2 loaves, 2 large loaves, which is what I'm going for. 4 smaller loaves, or I think it said 8 to 10 rolls. So you can make rolls out of this too, like dinner rolls, burger roll. They're really good at hamburger rolls. Really good hamburger rolls. So on my stove, let me wash my hands for a second. I guess y'all can just look at my plants for a minute. Well, I wash my hands. This is how easy this is, y'all. It's so stinking easy. On the stove, I have a pan of water getting ready to boil. My pan of water is getting ready to boil, and it's pretty close to there. And once it boils, I'm going to put a half a cup of baking soda into my water. And it's very close to boiling. We literally have our bread dough ready. Honestly, y'all, I'm telling you, this is so stinking easy. And if you make this into dinner rolls or hamburger rolls, whatever, they make fantastic sandwiches or hamburger buns. Just think about, like, if you go out to a fancy restaurant and you get something on on a pretzel bun. That's exactly what that is. It's just a pretzel bun. And just think about what you can buy at one of them fancy restaurants on a pretzel bun. And this is so economical, so easy. It's amazing. So you can make these into bread loaves, which these bread loaves will make phenomenal sandwiches, especially the day after Thanksgiving. They're going to make phenomenal sandwiches. This bread is delicious warm. It's delicious that day, but it also is delicious if you heat it. The same as a pretzel bagel, pretzel bun. They're all delicious. So I'm going to slide you over to the stove. Put your seatbelt on. See, my water is just about ready to boil here. Just about ready to boil. I'm going to get my slotted spoon. And I'm going to pull my baking sheet over. So that I can take them right out. And I like to, when I do my pretzels, some people just take them from the water to the pan. I like to hold a paper towel under them a little bit to get some of the excess moisture off. This is just about at a boil. Actually, it is starting to bubble. So, I'm going to carefully add, because this is going to foam up, so I'm going to carefully add a half a cup of baking soda. See, it's foaming up, so do it carefully. It does foam up, so just be careful. But it's supposed to. And this is actually what makes your pretzel. I'm just stirring it around a little bit here, letting it dissolve, making sure it gets good and warm here. We're just making sure it gets hot. And it's dissolving because I don't know if you can see on the camera, but it is looking a little clearer. So we got our water going on the stove with our baking soda. So I am going to slide one of my loaves onto my, it is starting to boil. So I'm going to slide one of my loaves. I slid it on my little thing here. I'm going to drop it in. And we're going to let that boil and make sure that it gets all sides. Make sure you're flipping it and it gets all sides. And we're going to let that go for about 60 seconds or so. And I'm actually going to time it just to make sure I give it the right amount of time. 60 to 90 seconds is what it needs. 60 to 90 seconds. And make sure that you're flipping it so that it's getting the baking soda bath all the way through. I didn't pinch my dough on the bottom well enough, but it's still all going to work out just fine. We're just making sure that it gets this water bath. It's boiling good. It's boiling nice. It's not boiling too high where it's boiling over, but it's boiling so that it's getting its nice water bath here in the baking soda. Like I said, make sure you're flipping it so it's getting the baking soda bath on both sides. And I have my timer set for 60 seconds. Uh-oh. Here we go. So I'm just going to leave this go because I think I'm fiddle-faddling with it too much. I'm just going to leave it go. It's got only a couple more seconds anyway, so. Just a couple more seconds. And it actually looks like it needs the extra few seconds here. I'm going to flip it one more time. Make sure it's getting that on the second side. Needs just a couple more seconds. This is so easy, y'all. It's so easy. Flip it over. I'm going to take it out. And I have my paper towels here. Let it drain. Make sure you let it drain good. Shimmy, shimmy, shimmy. I do take my paper towels to try to get at least some of that really super excess stuff. And now I'm going to dump it over here on my baking sheet that's oiled. Woo! So here's what I'm going to take it. Hang on 1 second, y'all. I'm going to bring it back over here. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. guys can see because I flipped the cord here. So I limited my space. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a sharp knife, and this is already kind of split, so it's good. And I'm going to cut an X into the dough. Okay, just a slight X. And then I'm going to, hold on, because I got some goo on my fingers. I'm going to take some melted butter that I have here. And I'm going to coat it with the melted butter. Just make sure it's all covered with butter. And then I have some coarse salt. You can use kosher salt. I'm using coarse sea salt. Whatever your preference is, just make sure it's coarse salt. And I'm going to sprinkle that on the top, just as you would a pretzel. Just as you would a regular pretzel. Sprinkle it with your salt. Don't worry about doing excess, because remember, this is going to rise. So I think I might actually have Mr. Homestead give me the other baking sheet, because I think I want to do one per sheet. Mr. Homestead, would you grab the other baking sheet for me, please?
What?
Would you grab the other baking sheet for me, please?
That's what I said earlier.
I know. Hang on, put your seatbelts on. We're putting the other one in. We're putting the other one in. Just dropping it in.
Where the hell is it?
It's up there. It's right up against the edge, honey.
I would have to give you the one with the sides.
There's got to be two up there.
Mini muffin powder, muffin things.
Right at the edge. Okay, this is boiling, so we're going to set our timer for a minute. And I'm going to flip it, make sure it's getting it up, putting the baking soda mixture on both sides. What'd you say, honey?
So there it is, way in the back.
I done told ya. I want to make sure I get both sides.
Got your parchment.
Yeah, right here. And I just need a little bit there. And I'm going to put this one in the oven. I have to move my... No, I don't think I have to move my oven rack around. This one's going in the oven. I'm going to flip this a little bit because I want to make sure both sides get this baking soda mix. This one looks good. I think I put it together better than the other one. I got impatient, I suppose. I just keep flipping it every so often because you got to make sure you get your baking soda mix on both sides. There we go. I'm going to give it an extra couple seconds though. And you can tell when it's ready because it feels kind of solid, I guess you could say, compared to when you put it in. When you put it in, it feels like doughy. But when you take it out, it feels kind of solid. So that's how you know it's ready. Okay, let me get this one out. I'm going to turn my heat off because I don't need it on. Let me get this one out. Grab a couple paper towels, a couple new paper towels. I just like to get I like to get as much excess butter off as I can. And I'm draining it as best as I can. And then I use the paper towel just to kind of get as much excess off as I can. I know you can't see, I'm dumping it on the tray. So you get it on the tray. So now we're going to take another ride. I'm going to take another ride over here. I'm going to make an X in my dough. And see, it isn't perfect. Life ain't perfect. I have things to slice the dough. I have the right equipment to slice this. I just can't find it right now. life's just chaos and I can't find it. But it still turns out nice. So I am not the least bit concerned. I'm just patting this butter on. I don't know if you guys can see. Patting the butter on. And when it comes out, you can add more butter. I generally add some more butter. So, and we're going to salt it. I don't really measure the salt. I just kind of put salt in my hand, and whatever I cup in my hand goes on, you know. Just cover it with salt. And then it goes in the oven at 400 degrees for 22 to 25 minutes. I might need to move these racks a little bit. I might need to. I do think so. I'm just moving my racks around, you guys, because I'm looking at it like, yeah, I think I need to move my racks. You gotta put your racks in different spaces for everything. So I just want to move these a bit because they're a little too close to the bottom. There we go. That's better. That's better. Okay. So they're in the oven. Ooh, you get to look at the dirty table. Sorry about that. Got a little dough on me. They're in the oven. They will stay in the oven for 22 to 25 minutes. When they come out, I will probably put a little bit more butter on them. Not a ton, because I like to have the salt too. And, you know, if you put too much butter, it's going to, like, soak into the salt. But I'll put a little bit more butter on them. Let them cool a little bit. Other breads, you have to kind of let cool overnight. But this bread, you just let it cool enough where you can handle it, and it's actually really good. So I'll let it cool a little bit. Cut it up for, I'm using one loaf for my stuffing. The other loaf we're going to use for sandwiches. So, like, you know, when we have leftover turkey tomorrow, the pretzel breads go make a good sandwich. So we're just going to use one loaf. So what I'm going to do to make it into my stuffing is I'm going to take the loaf, cube it, put it back in the oven on a flat sheet, dry sheet pan on a low temp, 200, 225. Let it dry out a little bit, and then I'm going to put it in my food dehydrator overnight, and then it'll be nice and hard for cubes for stuffing. So that's how I'm going to make it into stuffing. Although, right now, it's just going to be bread. So one loaf will be bread, and one will be stuffing. Excuse me. And that's what it's going to be. Then, like I said, this can be 4 loaves, 4 small loaves, 2 large loaves, or I think it said 8 to 12. I think I get 8, because I like big sized buns. 8 buns. You can use the buns for dinner rolls, sandwiches, hamburgers, leftover turkey sandwiches. So there you go, guys. We just made pretzel bread. Was that not easy or what? Easy peasy. Easy peasy. So much better than what you're going to buy in the grocery store, especially if you use clean ingredients. That's how easy it is. Thank y'all for being here. I will post a picture when the bread is done, and I will see you in the next video, which is probably tomorrow, because I'm going to go live so I can show y'all how we cook our Thanksgiving meal on our old early 1900s wood stove. We cook our Thanksgiving meal on our early 1900s wood stove. We use the wood in it and everything. So we will be live tomorrow to show you how we do that and share our Thanksgiving with you. And if you are alone on Thanksgiving, please join us so that you're not alone. You can enjoy our company and we can enjoy yours. Thank y'all for being here. I will see y'all tomorrow. If I don't see you tomorrow, happy Thanksgiving. I hope you make many memories with your families. Peace, blessings, and love to y'all. Thank y'all.